Sharife Cooper is one of the top point guards in all of high school basketball last season, but unfortunately, due to eligibility issues, he was unable to play in the first several games for Auburn this season. However, after being cleared, after returning to the team, he has absolutely lit it up in the few games that he has played with Auburn, and he has put himself into talks as being one of the top draft picks in this year's NBA draft. So in today's video, we'll talk about Sharife Cooper and whether or not he's a future star point guard in the NBA. Let's get right into it. If you've not already, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I upload videos every single week and the support goes a long way. Anyways, getting right into things, Sharife Cooper came out of high school as one of the most hyped up point guards in the country, and deservedly so. He has some killer moves and he was all over mixtapes on YouTube, on Instagram, all over the internet for his junior and senior year of high school. But I'm not sure that anybody expected him to be one of the top point guards in the entire country, regardless of class. And in his short amount of time at Auburn so far this season, he has proved himself to be one of the top point guards in the country, despite being only a freshman. But when you look at his skills, when you look at all of the things he's able to do, it kind of makes sense why he has been able to be so dominant and move into the college game so effortlessly. Sharife Cooper is a smaller guy who doesn't weigh a ton. Being only 6 foot, maybe 6'1" on a good day, he obviously does not have a size advantage over anybody, especially at the D1 college basketball level. But fortunately, he makes up for his lack of size with great point guard skills. He has elite ball handling, elite passing, elite at attacking the basket, and he's also a very solid shooter as well. And to go along with his elite skill set, he also has one of the highest basketball IQs of any player I have seen so far this season. He's an excellent floor general, he has amazing court vision, amazing awareness of both himself and where his teammates are at. He is great in the pick and roll, he is great in so many different sets and so many different offenses for both the college level and even advancing to the NBA level. I think that he does so many things so well, and you can tell when he has the ball in his hands, he is just comfortable and knows exactly what he wants to do and what he needs to do to be successful. Now, his main disadvantage and flaw to his game, something that he cannot even control, is his huge size disadvantage, like I mentioned before. In most cases, he is going to be one of the smallest guys on the court, which is automatically going to make him a mismatch problem, especially on defense. And the defensive end is where I think he is the most lacking, and this is obviously due to his size, with him being only 6'1" and 165 pounds. Now, I think that as time goes on, he could develop into at least an okay defender as he puts on more weight, and especially at the NBA level, guys always tend to gain more weight once they get to the NBA, so I don't see his size being a huge problem because of the elite skills and high basketball IQ that I mentioned before. But mainly on the defensive end, I don't think Sharife Cooper's size will ever allow him to be a truly elite defender because of the constant mismatches that he will be facing. So far, in the few games that he has played this season, Sharife Cooper is averaging 22.5 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, 8.3 assists per game on 39.7% shooting from the field. So great numbers overall. You would obviously want to see that field goal percentage go up a little bit. Under 40% really isn't that great. You want to see him definitely above 45% or around that 45% mark. And one thing that he has been struggling with is shooting the ball. Even though I said before that he was good at shooting the ball, especially from the perimeter, Sharife Cooper has not shown that very much so far this season. Most of his scoring has come from him attacking the basket and drawing fouls, which is what I think he's personally best at. And even though I do think he is a solid shooter, I think he's definitely better at attacking and drawing fouls. So that should be where the majority of his points come from. But getting a more consistent, a more reliable three-point shot, even a mid-range shot, is going to be huge for him going into the next level. And I think it is going to be the difference between him really making himself an elite scorer and him just being a kind of average point guard. It's going to be gaining that consistent, reliable outside shot to make himself a threat from both the outside and attacking the basket. When I was looking for a comparison for Sharife Cooper in the NBA, I couldn't really find one guy who really resembled his game fully. I think that he has a lot of different aspects to his game that remind me of a couple different guys, particularly CP3, Chris Paul, one of the best floor generals in the NBA for the past decade, pretty much, for even the past over a decade. Since the early 2000s, Chris Paul has been one of the best floor generals, and Sharife Cooper's high basketball IQ, his ability to share the ball, reminds me a lot of Chris Paul. He also reminds me a little bit of Steve Nash and Darren Williams with, again, his floor general abilities and also his scoring abilities. Now, another guy that he kind of reminds me of, but not as much, is Kyrie Irving. And the main thing that he reminds me of when it comes to Kyrie Irving is attacking the basket and finishing around the rim. So like I said, not really one guy in the NBA that Sharife Cooper reminds me of. And obviously those are all Hall of Fame superstar players that I just compared him to, which I don't want to say straight out that he's going to be as good as all those guys, but his game definitely resembles those guys' games in different ways. And I think that if he is drafted to the right team with the right weapons, he could be an elite point guard in the future. Anyways, that is the video. Please let me know what you guys think on Sharife Cooper, and remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next one.